the intro video, like the dudes in chat. Wait, is that what it's called?
Dudes in chat. Dick.
That is what it's called, is dudes in chat?
Dudes in chat, yeah.
Okay. You guys are dicks. Got it.
I don't know any of this lore.
No lore.
I don't know this lore.
We'll have to
I
share the lore
know.
with you.
Come on, Rumble. Let's do it. It's not going live, bro.
Here, I'm going to use my witchcraft. Go live. Did it work?
Oh my gosh, it's not working at all. Okay,
Just said on this screen that the broadcast is live. Oh, yeah, it's live.
Is it finally live? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah,
oh my
live.
gosh. Mother trucker.
Mother trucker, dude. Sorry, that was easy.
Oh, that's what I do. That's what I do. Yo, chat, welcome. I am Die Bear. This is a really professional stream. Welcome, Galaxy Red. We have DLD live with us today and Ryan Matsudaira.
What's popping? I think the stream went down.
Do you know how many times I've read your name on Twitter? Like Matsudaira.
It's okay. You got it though. Like, you got it right. Nobody ever gets it right.
It's because I kept looking at it and like trying to figure it out.
They always shortcut it to Matt's, but you perfect.
Or Ryan.
Perfect.
I mean, it was Matsu diarrhea for the first 2 weeks of Carnivore, I'm sure.
Ryan, Adam, and Joe.
You know, ironically, I kept reading about that, and I did not have those issues.
The diarrhea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either unless I take too many electrolytes, which I do if I fast.
Am I the only one who went through hell?
My belly is happy. I've been doing keto since 2012 though, so off and on. But I could never like lose weight past a certain point, so I decided to go carnivore after this last fall. So, all right, DLD, tell us about yourself.
I am DL motherfucking D. I've been carnivore since June of last year. I stream here on Rumble. My first week in this house, I got really drunk, and some of you might have saw me. It was a good time. We had the gay bar. It's awesome. It's over there. I can't switch cams. I can't switch cams easily on here. But yeah, I just stream random games. I used to speed run. I speed run occasionally, and I just play a random Bushido and play video games and shit.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that stream. Purdy Kills was like, "Die, you got to come see this guy. He's shit faced. He just bought a new house." And
I'm partying in the 1960s down here. It's awesome.
I was like, dude, you should shut off your stream and go to bed. And you thought you shut it off and you got up and you walked away and fell. And I was like, oh, no, I hope he's okay. And then you got up and laughed. And your stream was just live all night. And we were sitting in chat for about an hour talking.
Listen, I'm just a really good actor. All right? It was all an act. You guys all go for my Bushido. You know, it was all an act.
Yo, Riff Raff, welcome. All right, Ryan, tell us about you.
What's up, guys? I am Ryan, also known as Matsudaira. A lot of people probably see me ping around in their streams. I do my own channel, gaming, nothing too particular, variety streamer. I also do a podcast with Silver Fox and Joe Plays called Dudes in Chat. I have been doing carnivore myself for about going on 6 months. I had a lot of issues with my health, going with blood pressure and heart condition. So tried everything under the sun, and it led me to this. And
you're like, look at this.
Look at it working. I guess that's kind of weird. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And I'm Die Bear, and this is. I didn't call it a podcast channel until everyone else started calling it a podcast channel. So this is my podcast channel. And we've started doing regular shows since whatever. And Pirate Panel is going to be a regular thing every other week. So another week and a half. But most of you watch me on my gaming channel, rumble.com/diebear. And we're playing Diablo 4 right now and absolutely freaking loving it. So All right, guys.
I think I'll
Well,
be playing that soon.
yeah. Wait, have you not? You've been
Yeah.
playing it, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I'll be purchasing it tonight, downloading it, and I think I'm probably gonna start it tomorrow. I think
One of my friends
I'll
came to my
be.
stream the other day and she was like, "Are you going to buy Diablo?" And I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm pissed off at Blizzard and I hate their monetization practices." And then I went to freaking Adam's stream and was watching it. And I was like, "Oh man, like
Yeah.
everyone's loving the game." So I'm pissed off at Blizzard, but dude, it's the first game I bought in forever that shipped complete. it's
Somewhat complete
Diablo.
though, right?
It's
Got like
freaking great, dude.
microtransactions, doesn't it?
Everything's
Well,
early access now.
it's such an amazing game though. Like I haven't had any bugs yet, and yeah.
So it's works. That's the thing. Most games don't work.
I'm loving it. I'm having such a great time. I hate having to start work. The morning streams though, like I hate the shift change that I have now, but the morning streams are going great because y'all are on at night. In the morning, Rumble is mine.
You gotta
All
pry it
right.
from Silver Fox's fingers, though.
What, the evenings
No, the morning.
or Rumble? Oh, the mornings. Well, he
Rumble,
comes on after
yeah.
I do. He's the B team.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell him I said that.
I don't know who this is, but I'm messaging him now.
Oh, he's funny. He's a funny guy. I like Silver Fox. He's real. All right. Riff Raff, I'm not really anti-vegetable, but I might be what's called a super taster. Most vegetables taste really strong. And I've always wondered exactly what a carnivore diet entails, says Galaxy Red. So a carnivore diet is basically a no-carb diet. And it's been made popular by a doctor named Dr. Ken Berry, who has a big YouTube channel, but he also posts on Rumble. So you can totally watch him here. His show is absolutely great. And I like watching the FAQs because a lot of people will chat in and give their labs and their histories. And it's amazing how many people have come back from terrible medical conditions with diet and getting off of medications. And it really does heal. And I think all of us here have experienced that. But they push what's called the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge. And that's what you eat for at least 90 days before you start introducing other foods into your diet. So it is an elimination diet. And I did it for about 90 days. And then my birthday and Easter showed up and it was, fun. But I've had some radical changes this year and I feel way better. So what made you guys decide to go carnivore?
You want it first, Ryan, or you want me to take it?
Sure, I could do it. So I've probably spent the past 15 years or so struggling with my weight because of like depression and everything and that whole cycle. And I put on a bunch of weight from it. And every single diet that I tried failed. Most of the times because it's restrictive. And when you're going through depression, the last thing you want is the addition of some restriction. So it's just a constant fail. I saw carnivore kind of always popping up on social media and everything, and it's like it's such a extreme concept that it actually took me like it probably took me a year to fully like wrap my brain around it and like take the plunge and decide to actually do it because it just sounded based on like a lifetime of people saying eat your vegetables, do this, do that. And the idea that I was going to extract all that from my life, especially as somebody that has like high blood pressure and a heart condition and all that, I just thought it was like a suicide note basically by doing that. And so I tried keto and I had success with keto. I think I lost about 30 pounds within the first month or two. Now I'm not equating it to keto, but I ended up in the hospital at the end of one of those months and it kind of threw me for a whirlwind. And then that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try carnivore. And it's been great for me so far on that. It's made my health better. I've lost about 60 pounds or so, strictly just changing into, the meat. That's it. That's all I've done.
Dang,
I'm terrible.
dude.
I don't even exercise.
You don't have to though. That's what's funny about it.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. And I'm really lazy. So the fact that I can just lose weight eating something that I love is great. It should just be relabeled the gamer diet, it's a lazy diet,
yeah.
like, and you can lose weight.
And you gain better on it. You think better on this diet.
Oh my
Yep,
gosh,
yep.
yes.
The brain fog and all that.
Oh.
Now, I'm probably hypocritical because I'm drinking a beer and I'm not supposed to have a beer, but
If you shotgun it, it
whatever.
doesn't count.
Oh no, DLD is like the carnivore police, dude. Watch out.
Uh-oh.
Just vodka,
My
just
bad.
whiskey.
Try to like get this
It's
freaking.
not good whiskey.
All right, there we
Yeah.
go.
Barely. And there's no gluten in there. Gluten's the enemy. That's the only thing I want people to gain from this podcast is that gluten is the enemy.
All right, DLD,
Oh,
why
thanks.
did you go carnivore, dude?
So a long time ago, I was playing college football, and right out of that, I transitioned into doing like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and stuff, and I was in like really good shape. Well, I'm like a weirdo, and I can't have like weight goals, so I had to have fitness goals. Well, my fitness goal was to be able to do a backflip on flat ground, and so I was flipping onto a mattress that was on my floor. Like I put the mattress on the floor for my box spring. This is a decent length story. And I ended up kicking the box spring one of the times and landing on my face and scorpioning. Well, it pinched. Basically, I herniated these two discs, the T4 and the T5, and it pinched a nerve to my stomach. But it also started like a weird chain reaction where I developed celiac disease and chronic GERD. And I started having like all these weird issues, and I had no idea what was causing it because none of the effects hit until 2 weeks after that injury. All of a sudden, like I started like losing a bunch of hair, getting a bunch of like literally like these big sores all over my body and in my scalp, and like all these places, and I was freaking out. Like I thought I was, well, I went, I thought I was like dying or something. And I went through and I tried every single diet to get rid of the GERD. If you could tell, my voice is still kind of raspy from 3 years of having GERD. After 3 years, I finally discovered the carnivore diet. I'm like, fuck it. I've tried everything else. I've been vegan. I've been pescatarian. I've been keto. I've been only meat, fruit, and vegetables because like a whole foods diet kind of. Tried everything. Nothing got rid of the GERD. Like I eventually got rid of the celiacs by getting like a lot of the celiac symptoms by doing some of these diets, but I still had a lot of other symptoms like brain fog and stuff. Finally, I did like 10 hours of research on the carnivore diet while working. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to try it. And all of a sudden, everything started to clear up. Things that I didn't even know that were issues started clearing up. Like my nails got like super hard compared to how they were, like brittle and breaking. And like my skin just got better. I haven't had a zit since June of last year. Um, my hair started finally coming back. And yeah, like I just overall started feeling better. My inflammation significantly decreased. I basically deal with a chronic pain issue from the spine injury. If you notice throughout the podcast, you're going to see me going like this and stuff like that. I'm trying to pop my back a little bit, but I get like costochondritis and a pain in the back and a pain shooting down my arm. So like it relieved a lot of these symptoms. These symptoms used to keep me up all night, and now I'm able to sleep again, and I feel a lot better, and I started getting healthy again. I lost 55 pounds. I was 285 and I got down to 225, and then I started lifting again and gained like 10, 15 pounds back. So I lost a decent amount of weight doing this diet too. But yeah, that's what made me start basically trying everything.
That'll do it.
Wow. I've always
Yeah.
had a little bit of a weight issue, and I think I lost like 30 pounds on Weight Watchers a very long time ago. Only time I could do that. And I went back on it after I started mountain biking, and I just couldn't ride, dude. Even adding points in accordance with their rules, I just didn't have the strength to ride with my friends. I just go off and ride by myself. And so some of my mountain biking friends started, like the guys all started doing keto, and they started drinking Hendrick's gin because it was, you can have gin and soda. And I tried the gin and I was like, holy crap, this gin's actually good. And that began my relationship with Hendrick's. Thanks, guys. And then I started doing keto, and I lost about 30 pounds, but I could never lose more than that on keto. And then I got to the point where like I started noticing my body felt better, and I had the mental clarity, and I had energy throughout the day. You don't have like the 2 o'clock needed nap time, which is terrible if you work in an office. The other thing is in 2009, I went on an antibiotic I was sick and lost my voice. And that's when I started like developing like gas and then some reflux. I started developing that, and it just started getting worse to where I had really bad acid reflux several years later. And I noticed the keto helped with it, but I tried like different probiotic things, which I did do a probiotic treatment that worked, but I discovered that, man, it took like 4 years of research to find an answer to this because no one was talking about it on the internet until like 2016. But I finally found a bunch of people who had the same issue I did. They had acid reflux, but they were finding that they could eat acidic food like coffee. Alcohol was not the problem. All the things that they tell you to avoid for acid reflux helped me. And come to find out, and the doctor didn't diagnose this, I don't make enough stomach acid to digest bread and all that other crap. And a lot of people are like that because most of the stuff that they sell us is it's fake food and it messes with our gut. So so the reflux is pretty much gone after being on carnivore for 9 months, and or not 9 months, 3 months. And I've been dealing with this for like 10 years. No, shit. 15 years I've been dealing with this. And now after 3 months of the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs diet, I can do carnivore as my primary diet. And if I want to go out for a burger with my brother or my friends, I can go have a burger and my body just completely processes it correctly. I'm actually healed. I don't have the leaky gut issues. I don't have the reflux. Now, if I go back to eating that way, I start to get that stuff back. Yeah. Another thing I had that no one could figure out is I was getting really bad leg swelling. And I knew it wasn't DVT. It wasn't like a leg clot. I know how that stuff works because I used to do ultrasound. But after eating certain foods and I couldn't pinpoint what it was, like my ankles would get really swollen, my feet would get really swollen, and I was in a ton of pain. And again, keto was the only thing that really alleviated it. But after doing carnivore, I feel healed. And there's a huge difference between treating it and healing it. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
lots of issues. Yeah, food is medicine, 100%.
Well, they just give you medicine.
The right food is
they
medicine.
never treat the root.
Yeah.
Well, they want to put you on medication for everything, which causes the issues. Like, and then the other thing is cholesterol medicine. They want to put everyone on that. No one needs cholesterol medicine. Cholesterol is not a cause of anything. It's just a symptom of something. Mm-hmm. So eat well.
Yeah.
Eat well and thrive.
Yeah, the most interesting thing I learned from the diet, well, from studying the diet at least, and studying like the past, like back in like the 1960s and stuff like that, we never really had an obesity problem until Kellogg's bought the science and told everybody you need to eat cereal instead of bacon and eggs. It's horrible for your heart, even though nobody had heart issues back then. So they're like, oh, you're eating fat, you'll get fat. No, fat's really good for your brain, and you literally have a organ specifically dedicated to processing fat, which is your gallbladder, and everybody's telling you it's useless. Well, that's the thing that kind of sold me on this diet. Is like, why would we ever have a useless organ? We're developed a certain way. So I mean, honestly, that was one of the things that kind of sold me on this diet, is that we literally have an organ that's meant to break down fat, and like, why would we ever leave that thing dormant? You know, so that was just interesting to me when I was researching this stuff.
So when I got hospitalized a few years ago, because I went in for a gallbladder issue, and it turned out to be congestive heart failure or whatever. So they ended up keeping me for like a week. And when I was there waiting, because they had already I think it came over a holiday or something like that, so I had to stay there through the weekend. It was like a total waste of time and money, whatever, medical field. But that gave me time to do all this research about the gallbladder. And when I was there, I started to actually feel better. And then when the surgeon came in, I think that following Monday or whatever, to go take me in for the operation, I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. Because I kind of freaked out at the last minute doing all this research about what the gallbladder was for, and how the medical industry immediately, it's kind of like it's just like the default organ that it's like it's almost like they're trained to just snatch it out of you. Like that's one of the simplest things for them to do is just like if you have any type of discomfort or pain, they're like, oh, take it out. It's good. It's good. Oh, boom, $60,000 or whatever in their pocket for doing that. And I was just like, no, like it's too commercialized or whatever. I didn't want to mess with it. So I went home with my gallbladder intact, and I still continued to have some issues and discomfort for a while. It started to subside. And then this past year, I started to feel a little bit more. And sometimes it would like get hit, or that area would get hit, and I'd get like this intense pain. So it would still remind me like, oh my God, this hurts and it has problems. And I started to think that maybe I was going to have another attack and have to have it removed or whatever. Well, one of the things that traditional medicine always tells you is that consuming meat or fatty products is like really bad for the gallbladder because it makes it have to work harder or whatever. And if you have gallstones, I guess that's like one of the last things you're supposed to consume, right?
Yeah.
So here I am with a gallbladder condition, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be eating all this meat because I don't want to fully trigger my gallbladder. Keto, when I was on keto, I still had some gallbladder attacks every once in a while. But for the past 6 months straight, I have not had a single tinge of pain coming from my gallbladder on carnivore. And by their standards, from everything they say about how the body processes meat, I should probably like have it removed at this point. Like I should be like keeled over in a hospital bed or something because I'd be overworking my gallbladder. But no, I mean,
yeah, Dr. Berry tells people that whenever they ask about the gallbladder on a stream, he's like, no, do not get it removed. Go carnivore, it will resolve itself. And people who have their gallbladders removed, they have a lifetime of issues as a result. So it pains me whenever people have it done and they're like, but I'm in pain. And it's like, well, dude, there's natural medicine out there called your diet that will resolve it.
Yeah, one of the interesting things I actually saw, it seems to be like when you go from like a lack of eating like fat and stuff and your gallbladder stop working, and then you start introducing a bunch of meat into your diet, that's when people start having issues. So it'd be really like, it seems like a lot of vegans, if they ever wanted to transition out of veganism and start eating meat, they got to do it slow, or else you're going to start passing a bunch of gallbladder stones because that thing has been sitting dormant for a while. So it really seems like you need to keep your gallbladder working, and that's when they call it like overworked, but it's only overworked because we've been underutilizing it. So it's just been sitting dormant for way too long. And that kind of, at least I'm not a doctor, it's just the research that I did, but it was like, yeah, just say that was like one of the interesting things to me is that, well, hopefully you won't have any more gallbladder issues if you like stick to eating a bunch of meat and stuff. It should not happen again, hopefully.
I wonder, I haven't researched too much into it. Actually, honestly, this is the first time I've really kind of thought about the gallbladder too much in this conversation ever since it kind of disappeared. But it kind of makes me wonder, if you look back on the philosophy behind carnivore, if perhaps fat does cause gallbladder attacks, but it depends on the source of that fat and what's mixed with it. So in the cases we know from carnivore, it's within our philosophy, I don't know what you want to call it, the science, whatever, that the toxins of vegetables and everything is what causes a lot of the adverse reactions in our bodies. And I wonder if the plants and the, like the buns on hamburgers and all this extra stuff that you would eat with normally fatty food, if that all combines and it creates the chemical reaction or whatever that causes your gallbladder to seize up and work. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Because if if you're just adding more meat and fatty meat and your gallbladder is not having issues, but then if you have that same meal but throw in bun and vegetables into it and then your gallbladder's hurting, that's kind of like, well, maybe there's your chain reaction. Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
I think the other thing that's interesting is, what comes out of your body is an indicator of how good the stuff is that you put into it. And like Dr. Berry says, when you eat the carnivore diet, it's all nutrient dense and it's all what your body wants, and your body will 100% completely break it down. And a lot of people are like, I haven't had a bowel habit in like 4 days. And the thing is, I mean, you may have one every day and that's perfectly fine on carnivore, but it's nothing like if I actually start eating more vegetables and fruits, I'll be like, Yeah, nah, this doesn't feel as comfortable now when I get up in the morning and use them. I'm going right back on the beef butter bacon and eggs. And it's true, your body
Yeah.
completely breaks it down. And then the other thing, the energy, I just got off I did a 3-day fast.
Mhm.
I wanted to get the health benefits of a 3-day fast, which is not necessarily weight loss, chat. There's a lot of like breaking down old cells and bad material and building new stuff, which is why you want to do it like a couple times a year. But it's my first 3-day fast. And I wasn't really hungry until yesterday. And I think I broke it 2 hours early, 2 hours short of 3 days because I was just kind of feeling like I think it's time to do it. And I really thought about it. But like I made it that far and I was fine. I even worked out, dude. I lifted weights the other day and then I went for a walk yesterday and I was perfectly fine because my body knows how to burn the fat. And God knows I have plenty of fat to tap into when I need energy. But I
Yeah.
do like fasting. I think honestly, let me see. I haven't weighed myself in many years. I've been going by how my clothes fit and I can only estimate my highest weight, but I think I've lost about 45 pounds this
Oh,
last year.
nice.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
job.
amazed. I'm fitting into
Congrats.
stuff that I couldn't fit into when I bought it.
Yeah.
That's always a nice feeling.
Oh.
I think I still
Yeah.
have some shirts like that. Probably a little too old at this point, but
Dude, I feel amazing. But it's the shirts that are fitting better, not the pants. So it's like, nah, I'm losing fat from the wrong place.
Yeah.
I think that for me, I'm kind of naturally going into a fasting phase. Um, because I found that I can eat just like one steak in the entire day and I'm sustained. Like I can, and it'll sustain me until like the next day through, next dinner. Like I don't have to, I can get away like once a day most of the time. And I find myself getting in a natural fast where I'm not as hungry and I don't have to eat nearly as much. Have you guys experienced that as well?
Oh yeah. Well, I do one meal a day usually. Sometimes I'll treat myself to some hard boiled eggs or something for like a second meal. But I mean, I'm also 240 pounds, so I end up eating a lot. Like I'll go days where I could just have one steak and I'm perfectly fine, and then some days I need a little bit more, and then I have some
Mhm.
days where I don't even feel like eating that day, so I won't eat. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
exactly.
Yeah,
Eggs and bacon if I need to eat.
I found myself not having an appetite and like I would just eat like as long as I have my coffee in the morning, I'm happy. Um and I would have like a beef patty or something. I do a lot of ground beef. It's
Yeah.
just easy.
Oh yeah,
But
and cheaper than steak too.
I stalled.
Yeah.
Well, all my beef is 550 a pound because I buy it from a farmer. So I need to
Mhm.
go
Okay.
do another thing. So I'm very lucky. But um I did stall and stop losing weight, even though I was doing intermittent fasting. And I looked at how many calories I was eating, and it was only 700. Never before in my life did I have an under eating issue on the standard American diet because you're hungry all the time on the carbs. Oh my gosh. I don't know
Yeah.
how people can be skinny while eating carbs because I'm starving, absolutely starving if I eat that way.
Yeah, people
Um,
got different
Sugar really kicks it
metabolisms.
in.
Yeah.
but the the problem with that, and I think the stall, and this is why I'm starting to experiment with the diet. Like I'm doing 2 weeks on and then 2 weeks keto, where I bring in like avocado and tomato and get a few carbs in there, is because I've been doing a lot of research from a female perspective. In order to get my body to operate correctly at a certain time of the month, I need to make sure I'm eating what it needs. And I started thinking about this because I'd get to that point and I'd be like, okay, something doesn't feel right. So now it's just like listening to my body and dialing in what I need. But the first 2 weeks, I want carnivore diet. I just cannot explain, chat, how much better I feel on it.
Have
That's
you guys
interesting.
ever seen those people on TikTok? Those like the big girls that are like, I intuitively eat and like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're gaining more
You're
weight.
500
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, like no, you are going towards 600. You're not going down to
I
400.
don't know how people can do that, man. I got up to like, I'm guessing I got up to 240, 250, and I felt
Yeah.
miserable.
Well, I was almost 300. Well, I was 285 when I started this diet. So, but it's just interesting because before this diet, I was like, you can't intuitively eat. You have to starve yourself. And now I'm like, Well, yeah, I can intuitively eat. I'm just eating the right things.
If you eat the
The
right things, you're not going to eat that much.
Yeah, the best thing about this diet is when you need salt, you crave salt. When you need meat, you crave meat. Like it's the easiest diet ever once you get past the first month period and get rid of all those sugar cravings, gluten cravings, all that stuff. Once those cravings are out of your system, you just listen to your body. It's the easiest diet ever.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think salt is the key to appetite control, especially while fasting. I take in so much salt in the farm. I mean, I put like regular table salt, or I have like the mineral stuff. I forgot what it's called, but I use it when I'm cooking, but I drink the element stuff
Yeah.
for my electrolytes. And I started doing that because I had a heart palpitation back in November that freaked the crap out of me. It was so bad. Like I even had dizziness, which means that's when you have those symptoms, they're like, yeah, you could die from that. And it's like, okay, this is great. Scariest thing that ever happened to me in my life. And so when I found carnivore diet in January and I started reading about the different electrolytes, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting enough salt. And it completely got rid of the heart palpitations. Like I'm so healthy now taking in all the electrolytes. And it's a lot. And you know from how you feel whether you need more. But you're right. If salt tastes good at that moment, take it in. And when you start losing your taste for it, that's when you need to stop. I found that I need a lot of salt.
Yeah. And if you so like I said before the podcast, I switch between right now I'm doing probably gonna do 30 days without fruit. But I'll do like fruit and then I'll do without fruit. I will notice if you do have heart palpitation symptoms again, try doing the like start adding fruit into your diet, and then you'll start getting the same craving. Like when you crave sugar, you just add sugar into your
Well, I
diet.
was eating fruit when I had my first heart palpitation.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a salt imbalance. Yeah.
I meant specifically with carnivore. I actually noticed I had those issues and I was cramping a lot. I was
Oh,
working out a
interesting.
lot, so I would eat fruit based off of my activity for the day. So like if I knew I was going to go do a workout, I'd eat some fruit and then I'd go to the gym. And then yeah, so I noticed now I did gain 10 pounds back of water weight, but I felt I was stronger in the gym and I felt a lot better like doing that stuff. But like it was like not like a significant increase in like strength and stuff. I just noticed I felt a little bit better. But I like to kind of switch between like I'll do fruit for a month and then I'll do without fruit for a month. I like to kind of go back and forth and just test the waters with it.
Especially
Change
in
my
the
fruit
summer.
input. Yeah. Yeah, the summer might be good for me to have fruits back, but I just
I'm going to
got
be
rid of
doing
fruits.
watermelon salads and yeah, berry stuff. I'll do like a dairy cream sauce with different berries. That's really good. And it's like made with yogurt and some other stuff I can't remember.
Yeah. And a great thing to do is to one thing that I looked into, and if you ever watch Paul Saladino, uh, he's him and Ken Berry go at it, but he's the one that says to add fruit and raw honey. He went and lived with the Hamza tribe, which is like a tribe that's completely separated from society, and they go out and hunt their meat and they share the meat amongst the tribe, but they also go out and they go digging in the trees for honey, and they'll do fruit like seasonal fruit. And he noticed that like they were like thriving over there. They didn't have any cancer issues. They didn't really have many health issues over there, and people were dying how they were supposed to die, which is due to decay, not all of a sudden a heart attack or all of a sudden issues. They died due to decay because they got to a certain age. But they also looked into like some other tribes that were like vegetarians and shit. And the one thing that they noticed was that like the Hamza tribe compared to these other like the vegetarian tribes and stuff, they had like 60-70% more muscle mass than the vegetarian tribe, which I thought was really interesting. But
I wonder if
it,
Ken Berry interviewed that guy because I remember there was a
oh, they
show
talk a lot.
where they showed the skulls
Yeah.
of different lines of humans
Mm-hmm.
based on diet, and the vegetarians all died off.
Oh
Whereas the
yeah.
lines that ate meat were the ones who they had like way healthier skulls. They had like a full set of teeth
Mm.
and it's interesting now in our society you're seeing people with different kinds of health, and there are a lot of people with teeth issues, and it's starting to make me wonder like
Did you
what are they
notice your plaque
eating?
went down?
Dude, my teeth are so clean. I freaking love
Yeah.
it. I haven't been to a dentist in forever either.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but another interesting story, real quick. Um, along that vegetarian meat eating side of things. So, do you know the country with the lowest life expectancy based off of age?
United States. I don't know.
No, it's actually not. It's actually India, who is a heavy vegetarian country.
Oh,
They
Interesting.
their life expectancy due to old age is around 60 something, and then
oh
Hong
wow.
Kong is the highest life expectancy, which is around 90, and they eat about, I think they said 1 or 2 pounds of meat every day. And I just thought that was like a really interesting study. And then if you look at it, the countries that consume the most meat, like per capita, they end up having longer life expectancies than the ones who consume more vegetarian based diets. So it
That makes
provides a lot of
sense. And if you think
longevity.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I did a lot of
I
research.
mean, like if yeah, because if vegetables are not for everybody, I'm not saying this is like a global rule, but in theory, if vegetables are perceived as potentially toxic to us, each individual's health on different levels, it's kind of like, yeah, if you're a vegetarian, then you're constantly feeding you're constantly keeping yourself poisoned essentially, but it's like a very slow drip, right? Eventually but it catches up with you pretty quick at the end, which is probably why your life's getting shortened.
Yeah.
Well, it explains why
Which
vegetarians still have heart attacks. That is a thing.
Yeah,
Because they're
look into
always like, well,
watermelon gut.
how does this person have a heart attack when they're skinny and healthy? And why do they have high blood pressure? And it's like, because they're eating stuff they shouldn't be eating.
Yeah, look
it
into
must be those
watermelon
impossible
gut in
patties.
vegetarians.
Is watermelon really bad?
No, just it's called watermelon gut. Their gut turns into
Oh,
looks like
watermelon
giant
gut.
watermelon, and they feel like they're having stabbing pains in their stomach. And yeah, I'm like, maybe your diet's wrong. But
I
yeah,
love
it's just
salads, but I don't really want to eat lettuce again. I don't.
yeah,
Just
but you love
because
salads with salad dressing.
there's nothing wrong with salad dressing.
Eh.
No, because I would make my own with like olive oil and apple cider vinegar
Olive
and
oil is
ranch
horrible
is
for you.
no, olive oil is fine.
They
Um
lied to you.
Ranch dressing, if you get like a good ranch, it's just a dairy based dressing, but the dressing isn't the issue. It's the freaking lettuce. That's what's going
Yeah.
to tear your gut up.
Well,
And people
the thing,
think
Or
you need
soybean oil.
oh, that's the problem. Like there's not much I can buy in the store because there's soy and everything, and I won't touch that shit. I hit 40
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't want this in my diet. Like this can just I'm already having hormonal issues. I don't want soy in there to mess it up even more. And I'm gonna be real, dude. I feel like I'm in my 30s again. I do.
yeah, you feel
Nice.
a lot better. But I will say about all the oils, you are never supposed to have that many seeds condensed into a liquid and that can
Mm-mm.
sit on a shelf that long without having to be refrigerated or anything. They're not good for you. And like, there's definitely evidence that they could possibly cause like a lot of
All these different
issue.
seed oils that are out, and
Yeah,
then
well,
they're used in all of like everything. They're in
yeah, they
everything you
Everything.
buy. So it's not people are like, well, if you eat in moderation, and it's like there's no such thing as moderation if you actually read the food labels. There's specific foods that are endocrine disruptors that are in everything. And it's
yeah,
really freaking hard. So like mayo, I like mayo. So I buy the Primal
right,
Kitchen stuff, and that's still soy free. But I guess they've recently been bought out by a bigger company. And so far, they're continuing the way they
Right.
have been. But you got to read the label every time you buy it because someday it's going to change. And I've seen this happen with a lot of
Yep.
organic companies. They get bought out, and all of a sudden they're adding something like freaking Organic Valley, amazing heavy cream and cheese. And now they're adding like this thickening agent that is a seed extract to thicken the cream. And it's like, it's so hard, chat, to find heavy cream that is just heavy cream. And I've bitched about this in the Rumble Discord.
yeah. Listen,
I'm like, I
Well, they
just
use these
want
fancy
heavy
names
cream.
too.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Listen,
gosh.
I'll tell you, if you cut out, like I know you love your olive oil. All right,
I
I'm
don't
telling
buy
you,
I have a little bottle of olive oil because I also use it for my
throw
hair.
it out.
No, it's not a seed oil, dude.
It's still not. It's still not good to you for you. It's like
I
all this
don't
stuff
I don't eat
compressed into the
olive oil
bottle. It's
every day. I
yeah,
eat
man.
butter is my
Butter and
thing.
tallow. By the way,
But
replace.
bacon fat.
Tallow.
Yeah.
Bacon fat. Mm.
By the way, really good. Order it on Amazon. Get Wagyu beef tallow. It will last you 6 months, It's a big
I
jar
have so
of
much fat in my
tallow.
house, especially
It
when I cook
tastes,
bacon. I don't even need it.
yeah, it tastes so much
It's
better
true.
than butter. I'm telling you, it's so good.
No, what did I use? Oh, no. The reason why I got olive oil is because when I did the carb days, I wanted to do an
Yeah.
olive oil and vinegar thing. So it's like 1 or 2 weeks a month now. But honestly, I stopped using like regular shampoo and I don't use conditioner on my hair anymore.
Yeah.
So it does start to dry out. So I'll do it. I'll just get it wet and then put olive oil in it, and
Yeah, I didn't
then
even
I'll
know
have
you
to
could
wash
use
it like
olive
3 or
oil
4
for your hair.
times. But yeah, it can. Yeah, the hair is happy after using it. Like do it once a week. I don't think
So,
you
like,
need to. I have long hair.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't know,
fine.
this is my complete ignorance right here, but how is olive oil, like, what separates olive oil from not being technically being a seed oil? Because it's got a big seed in it, but
Well, it's coming
like
from the
the meat
fruit.
kind of like, but the meat grew from the seed, right? So doesn't that kind of like
Well, seed oils
transition
actually come
transfer
from the
in?
seed.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if it can't, like, the seed part, like the meat grew onto the seed, so it doesn't matter, like none of that would be inherent into the meat, right? So
It's from the meat. Yeah. It's kind of like wine from a grape. Like you have seeds in grapes, but wine is not
Mhm.
a seed
Yeah, olive
thing.
oil
seed
is
drink.
from the fruit. If it is from the fruit, I
Yeah.
would say it's a lot better. The problem with having like a bunch of seeds compressed into into an oil, seeds are the ones that have the most toxins ever. Like they're the one, they want to be protected. They want to make it into the ground so that they can continue their bloodline or fruit line, whatever. But yeah, so like those are the ones that have the most toxins, and that's why it becomes such an issue when thousands of them are compressed into a tiny little bottle and then poured into all your food and everything.
Yeah, so I get extra virgin olive oil. I get an Italian brand that's known to be like actual olive oil because again,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bullshit olive oils out there. But my primary fat is butter.
Yeah. Oh, 100%
Butter and
use
bacon.
butter.
Put butter on everything, dude. And I had to up my butter intake because the calorie issue, because I was like, I can't eat any more meat. I can't eat any more eggs. And I eat a lot of eggs. Like, come on. And the only way I could add calories, because 700 was just not enough, was to add butter. So I'm
Right.
fine with this.
You guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I prepare my steak in an air fryer.
Everyone loves air fryers. I wish I had one.
It
I'm
makes
ask
the
for one for
fat so
Christmas.
crispy. Oh my God, it's amazing. And everybody I've ever told that hated me for saying it, but I had my one buddy come over. I'm like, I'm making us steaks on the air fryer. He fucking loved it.
I've heard great
Yeah.
things.
I do that sometimes, particularly if I just don't pull the meat out and it's still frozen. I can never get the fat right though. Like for me, the fat always tastes awful in the air fryer.
Huh.
But it could just be my air fryer. Like I don't know
minutes.
what model you're using, but but I do air fry. I do air fry steak and all that stuff. I'm on there with that. It works surprisingly.
I got a Ninja XL. I don't know the exact model number, but I do 400 degrees for 12 minutes. It's perfect every time.
Oh my gosh, really? How big of a steak?
Usually like a 16 ounce. I don't even know the distinctions between steaks. I'm such like I'm so bougie. I just see, $20 and I grab it.
I'm so bougie.
More money.
That's bouge. Awesome.
And then the sad thing is I eat $20 worth of steak in like a minute. Like I just inhale it and I'm like, I'm good.
$20 steak. It's probably a ribeye.
I'll tell you though, when I was eating salads with the meat, so I was doing like the keto thing, and eating a lot of veggies, that was way more expensive than eating carnivore. Like eggs and meat, super cheap. And there's also Professor Bart K, who Dr. Berry did an interview with. Let me look. How's it going, Gunner? Oh, the Randall cycle one. Yeah, I watched that one. Unfortunately, I watched it on YouTube, but the other thing about insulin resistance is like we have diabetes in my family, and my brother is like, I think he's now taking metformin. Like he does a lot of diet and exercise, but he just doesn't want to do keto. He tried it for a while and it was fine. Like he completely healed it, but he likes certain things too much. And then my mom and dad, it kills me. They're almost 80 and they're now taking the advice of their doctor when it comes to like what to eat, and they're not doing themselves any favors for their conditions. And here I am, I've completely resolved all these funky conditions that no one could heal with anything, and I'm losing weight and I'm perfectly healthy after just going carnivore. Yo, Ultra Fox, welcome, good to see you.
Yeah, my mom
What
always
was your
goes to me.
guys's when you guys switched over to carnivore? What was like the biggest shock factor to you, or like the biggest hump that it took, like a mental hump or something that it took for you to get over doing it? Because it is extreme. I mean, you compare it to anything else out there, and it's like it goes against the grain of what the medicine, like the medical industry tells you. It goes against the grain of a lifetime of food teachings. It goes against the grain of what the government says with the sad diet. Like it's just total.
I mean,
Like,
if the government says it,
antithesis
do
of
the
everything.
opposite.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
Not even
But,
gonna lie,
like-
really quick, figuring out the lies about what they tell us about our diet made me look into the other lies.
And you learned a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, stuff I
Right.
can't say. So all right.
Like, oh, Alex Jones isn't as full of shit as
Before I get the water, turn the frogs.
That's very true. It's like finding that one. It's like finding that one little thread on a shirt or something, and you pull it, and all of a sudden everything's just falling apart. For me, the one
why the
thread
hell did I
was
buy this?
probably honestly the one thread for me was COVID. That whole scenario. Once I kind of looked into that, it made me like question all sorts of shit. And it
See,
just
I have a
unraveled from there.
healthcare background and I was pre-med for a while, and I knew it was all bullshit. I'm like, this goes against everything that I practiced in healthcare and that I learned in school. Everything. And these fucking nurses who allegedly have the same, they aren't, most nurses aren't as educated as an ultrasound tech, but they're fucking stupid. But they went with it, even though the basic stuff about masks and gloves, everyone should know that, and they went with it. They actually went with it. And it's like, what's wrong with you people? But
twist their arms, do it or lose it.
I think far too many people in our population actually like to be controlled. They like to be told what to do. And then you have me, and I don't like it when people tell me what to do.
Yeah, everybody in the population likes a little collar around their neck.
It's crazy.
What
dude.
amazes me is we're like 3 years into, past this whole crap or into it. I passed it, whatever. And I was just out today and I saw somebody at the store I went to. They're wearing a mask, like an employee.
I occasionally see it and it blows my mind. Yeah.
And you know what makes me think? I'm like, in that person's mind, they probably think that they're doing good and they're being mindful, and they probably think that's the image that they're giving. But for me, the first thing I thought, first thing I thought of was you're fucking probably idiot that voted for Biden or whatever. But the second thing that I thought of was, wait, are you sick? Why the fuck are you trying to serve me something? Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want you to serve me. I'm like, why are you wearing a mask if you're not sick? That's like the second thing that came to my mind.
You got to go up to them.
Huh?
You got to go up to them and just get your hand sanitizer out of their pocket.
Or just feel like, here you go. Freak them out.
Save hands. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's another discussion, man. That could just be a I think that's a pirate night discussion, honestly, because I got to be drunk to talk about that. Professor K has 2 channels on both YouTube and Odyssey. Does he have one on Rumble or no? Just YouTube and Odyssey? So do you guys, so you're basically doing the OMAD diet, the 1 meal a day, which is intermittent fasting. Did you say that, Ryan? Yeah.
Oh, so here's the thing for me. Like I said, I went through like 15 years of diets and fads and all that stuff. And honestly, I'm just kind of at this point where I don't perceive carnivore as a diet. I see it more as a healing protocol, because I'm using it more so just because I eat food and the food heals me. So because I don't look at it as a diet, I'm kind of just naturally going with how my body reacts to it. And so I happen to maybe eat once a day, but it's not it's not like a diet for me. I'm not intentionally going out of my way and like measuring my fats or, being like, oh, it's
You're not supposed to measure your fats. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's probably a bad example. But like I'm not paying attention to that stuff. I'm literally just doing. I'm like I'm eating my meat, and I'm just trying to get healthy, and that's how I'm perceiving it. I'm just looking at it as a health protocol and a lifestyle change. Because I gave up on the diet thing. Like I used to be a diet type person that really believed in like Atkins or whatever it was. Like diets work, calories in, calories out. That whole thing. And when I feel like when I finally stopped thinking in terms of diet, I think that's where I found the success right now, and I don't struggle with my habits that I had. Like I got really bad addiction to fast food and like all this other type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And once I switched over to like even when I was doing keto, I was still having cravings for all this type of fast food and constantly try to find ways to cheat, so to speak, and still end up getting my fast food fix somehow. But once I went to carnivore, um, I found that I can eat stuff. If all of a sudden I really want to eat something that I might not normally eat, I can eat it without having any sense of guilt or anything scratching at me in the back of my head because I'm not perceiving any of this as a diet. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I don't know what the OMAD is. But,
It's just one meal a day. That's it. You're just eating one
that's
meal
all
a day.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they call it, but that's not.
It's
yeah,
funny
definitely not my
because
approach.
it's a strategy for fasting because a lot of people find that in order to lose weight, they have to put the fasting in there. But when I found that for me with carnivore, I naturally started gravitating towards fasting, except for a couple of weeks during the month where I was like, okay, I need to eat more frequently. So I'm experimenting a little bit more with that, but intermittent fasting, I do swear by it. I was using that before I went carnivore, and I think that's the real reason why I lost some weight. I think keto and carnivore make it possible for you to do it because it controls your appetite and you feel
It's very
normal and
appetite
healthy.
controlling.
And I don't think people in America these days know how good they could really feel because they're used to feeling like crap because they've only felt like crap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can say that. Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick, the one thing that I noticed, which is the best thing, is when you're at work and you have your lunch or whatever, then the second half of the day is absolute garbage and you hate it. That completely gets rid of that. And that's just one of the small productivity things that somebody could experience. Your work productivity goes up so much more because you don't get that brain fog and you don't get that stomach fog and that tiredness. Like it's just like one of the great benefits from it.
If you cheat, do you actually like ask yourself, like, man, I think I want to do this later in the day so I don't feel like ass? Like, I'd rather eat potatoes before bed than than earlier in the day. Um, the other thing is, I find I can eat potatoes. Like, if I'm gonna cheat, it's gonna be potatoes because they don't make me feel bad. It's usually the grains that don't work for me. Man, potato. It's because I'm Irish. Like, I love the potatoes.
It's in your
Tell the
blood.
red beard as much.
You got mashed
but,
potatoes running through the veins.
Oh man, all kinds of potatoes. I like boiled potatoes with butter and like chives. And if I do a baked potato, it'll be loaded. But we're not doing
That's the way to
potatoes this week.
I've definitely found that I had a lot of inflammation going on. I was constantly like I was starting to develop back pain, knee pain, like all the pains, constant headaches. I still get headaches every once in a while. I think I'm finally learning that has to do more with my water to sodium. Like I always put some sea salt into my water now, like this big jug right here. I always have this with me now, and it's got sea salt in it. Oh, shit. Powerful water. I found that that kind of started to reduce, like, fix my headaches more. But the moment I go off and say we have a pizza or whatever, immediately that night, like I feel different levels of inflammation, like in ways that I never felt. Even when I was fully inflamed, I think I got so comfortable with being uncomfortable that when that discomfort comes back, it's like more intense, and it's just far more noticeable. And it's usually that day. Like it doesn't take long before I start to feel like, oh, I kind of went outside the box right here, and whoops. But I do keep like a 90-95 rule for me, like 90-95%, because I don't try to fake myself and pretend that I'm gonna be 100% carnivore. Like that's just not It's just not feasible.
Well, I
for
think
me.
once you've done
And-
the elimination period, which is like 90 days to let your body heal, that's when you can start letting that stuff back in. And not regularly, chat. I don't recommend regularly, because the thing is, once you cheat, you're going to be like, especially if you cheat one day, I'm generally not feeling it. 2 days in a row, I'm going to start feeling things, and we be like, yeah, back on carnivore now. And then I'll use fasting to kick myself back into keto right away. Like I'll do like a 24-hour fast.
Yeah.
Keto. Oh, go ahead.
I just refuse to quit this diet. I feel too good. I had too many issues with my celiacs. I get something called gluten neuropathy, which literally I accidentally got the other day because they told me the place decided to change their ingredients. I was getting some chicken wings, and then they decided to add light breading on there where I didn't even notice I ate it.
No.
Also, my hands, my feet went cold. I was sweating the entire because it doesn't hit me until 16 hours later. I started sweating. I couldn't think straight, and I was shaking. And I literally went up to like my boss. I was like, I gotta go home. Like,
Oh,
I was
no.
like, feel my hand. It was freezing cold. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta go home. So I had to drive home while shaking. But yeah, literally, like I just refused to feel bad again. So that was like the first time I had gluten in like 2 years. And it just fucked me up. But like, I refuse to have any more reactions. I'm just sticking to this diet. Although I had the sushi in Punta Cana, and I didn't really have many issues except for bloating. That was my first ever cheat meal since June of 2022, last year.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The nice
Good.
thing though about it is you do learn what foods you can bring back in if you want something. Like there's certain places I can go for pizza if I want a pizza. And
It's very true. It
The
doesn't
other
all
thing-
have the same effect.
the other thing, I watched a video too about oxalates, which like black pepper is full of them. And they said a lot of people have reactions to those. And I've had allergies, really bad allergies, since like 2004. And like I have a little bit of a sniffle right now because there's so much freaking fuzz outside, but like I'm fine. I just use a neti pot and blow my nose. I don't have to be on anything. But I went on allergy meds several years ago. I was on Flonase, and then I've was on Zyrtec forever, every day. Otherwise, I would get so congested. I would have terrible sinus headaches. And it was like clockwork every day. If I didn't take the allergy meds, I couldn't breathe. And after 2 weeks of carnivore and after learning about the black pepper thing, I got rid of the black pepper and I completely went off of Zyrtec and Flonase. I've not been on allergy meds since. And I am so grateful that I don't have to take any medication anymore. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm starting to get to that phase, because this will obviously be the first time I've experienced summertime doing carnivore. And I was the same way. I was on Flonase, and literally I had to always take it usually in the morning. If I missed my dose, like I was screwed for the day. I'd get the itchy eyes and stuffed up and stuff and everything. And we're going into mid-June soon, and I haven't had a single allergy symptom, which has been awesome. I don't even think we have Flonase in the house right now. So that's definitely one of the benefits that I've noticed by switching is just that. And it's awesome. Like who wants allergies?
Yeah. I completely got rid of allergies, and I used to have asthma, and that completely went away too.
Really?
Yeah, so I didn't even know I had asthma.
Dude, you are a mess. Holy crap.
Oh, no, it's crazy. But it seems like everything hit afterwards. Apparently I had asthma my whole life. It's very light. But like I was like, oh shit. As soon as they told me I had asthma, I felt like I had asthma. I think that was part of the issue too. But like I used to take my inhaler before Muay Thai and started doing this diet. And I just noticed I started breathing better. Which also, one other thing, did you guys notice that? Do you need less sleep a night, or am I the only one? Maybe I'm
kind of pissed off right now because I'm only sleeping 4 hours a night, and I don't feel like I'm getting enough sleep right now. But I'm just not sleeping.
5 to 6 hours. That's all you need. You feel great.
Did you go cold turkey or ease into the diet, or try both methods to allow your body to adjust? Found there was too little info on electrolytes besides salt. Vital assume yes, and that's the biggest problem with any keto diet. And carnivore is keto. It's just not allowing any other carbs in. But people are afraid of salt, which they shouldn't be. And what is it? You should be having at least a teaspoon of salt a day.
Not table salt, though, right? We're not talking table salt, are we?
Just salt, dude. Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
you can have table salt. That's fine. Make sure it doesn't have any of the anti-caking stuff in it.
Yeah,
But it's
Himalayan's
still
a little
salt.
bit better, but
Yeah, I actually got the stuff that Ken Berry recommended because I wanted I have 2 different grains. I have the fine grain for my shaker, and then I have the thicker stuff because I used to cook with kosher salt.
yeah.
And I looked at the label. It was like, holy crap, there's anti-caking stuff. Okay, well, I'm done with the kosher salt. But yeah, I like the chunkier salt for cooking. But then in addition to that, Gunner, like I have a measuring thing. I think I do like I'll add salt to taste when I cook, and it's generous. I like salt. And then sometimes I'll add like a quarter of a teaspoon or maybe a little less to my coffee. I haven't been doing that lately. Um, and then I drink at least 2 packs of Element a day, which for the Dr. Berry fans, he thinks you only need like 2 packs a day. But honestly, you've had too much when you have diarrhea. That's how you know how much you need. And oh no, you're pissing it out your butt, but it's like the worst thing that's gonna happen to you. then just take note of how much
Pissing
you
out
had
your
and
butt.
dial it back a little bit, right?
Have you tried butter in your coffee?
I've tried the bulletproof coffee. I tried it several years ago and I just didn't like it. So I just do
It's a
heavy
weird
with
one.
butter?
stevia. What's that?
I was saying butter in your coffee.
Yeah, that's part of the bulletproof thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
like it.
I
mean,
use
it
heavy
helps me
cream
more.
and I do the aged cheeses. So I like my dairy. Thank God I'm not allergic to dairy or anything like that.
yeah.
So
Never mind. I was
Yeah,
gonna say, I had lactose intolerance issues and it went away from this diet.
wait, really?
Yeah. I used to think
Wow.
I was like, I don't want to keep naming me having issues. This sounds so weird. I'm 26. but
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I was taking lactate all the time, and then one of the times I'm like, fuck it, I'll try it without it, and I just didn't have any issues, and I just kept eating it without lactate.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I just had like a shit ton of stomach issues from the spine injury. It was really weird.
Yeah. I did keto earlier this year, or is it this year? I don't remember what it was at this point. Maybe it was last year. I was doing keto and it was going really well. And like I said, I did it for like 3 months and I ended up in the hospital. Now, I don't know if I'm not saying it was keto specifically. I think what happened is I ended up getting, because I have a congestive heart failure, I ended up getting a shortage of potassium and as well as I think iodine, or not iodine, I don't know, salt or something. I don't remember. Sodium. Why am I thinking whatever? Yeah. It was mostly the potassium issue. And it caused my heart to go into AFib, which is, I don't know if you guys know, but it's like the really rapid heartbeats. It's like your heart's just going.
Yeah, my old manager had
like it's crazy. And I was beating it like 200 something beats per minute or whatever. It was like ridiculous. So I had to go to the hospital. I was in there for like 5 days or whatever because of a potassium deficiency. Because of that, it kind of freaked me out about keto. Because I guess the version of keto I was doing was not potassium rich enough and it impacted my heart. So now I went from keto and I jumped to carnivore because it's kind of like a natural shift. There wasn't much of a change. And I'm kind of like a super taster or super palate. So vegetables are freaking awful to me anyway, flavor wise. So I was like, oh, sign me up for meat. I'm cool.
That's crazy.
But because of my heart condition, I guess why I call it like 90-95 is because I always often supplement with like avocado or something like that, something potassium rich, just as kind of like insurance policy for myself, just because of my heart condition. But I'm also supplementing with bovine supplements. So I'm doing organ, heart, and kidney from Ancestral. It's called Ancestral Elements or something like that.
Yeah, Ancestral.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Paul.
They're really good. I mean, they're supposed to be really good. I can't say they're really good, but it's supposed to be really good. But so I take those as well because I don't want to eat liver and everything. I think that's the only thing I do on supplement. I think that's the only thing I do that's not carnivore focused is I add the avocado and sometimes I'll do like onion or whatever. But for the most part, it was just cold turkey. You know, the keto experience kind of freaked me out and I just went a different direction.
Yeah.
Chat,
Yeah,
I put the links in chat for the products I've been talking about. So I have the element packet. Oh my gosh, it's the right way. Let's
Ooh,
go.
look at that.
This
First
stuff is
try.
good. Lime's my favorite, dude. And then it's Redmond sea salt. This is
Yeah,
really
I
good.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this
I
stuff.
have the
And then
smoked version. It's pretty good.
I put all the links for anyone who watches this on replay. Um, all the links are in the comment section, and I'm just replying to my pinned comment. So if you want to find the links, it's there.
Yeah, and I do recommend, like Ryan said, he was taking the ancestral supplements because they are really good, especially if you don't want to go down the route of actually eating liver. I was doing that for a while. Eating too much, you get disgusted of it. But yeah, definitely take the pills.
These are the Lugol's iodine drops. So I've been taking these. I never thought about supplementing with iodine, but when I did ultrasound, I, of course, scanned myself to see cool stuff. And I knew I had adenomas on my thyroid. 30% of women have them. They're just like little growths that you'll get like these growths on your thyroid and then they just break down and go away. But most people do not get enough iodine. And I was like, well, screw it. Let me start taking Lugol's and see what happens. I take one drop. There's no expiration date. It's iodine. Like it lasts forever.
Yeah.
But I got a 3-pack of this from Amazon and it was really cheap. So
Yeah, I'd say the only downside with the supplements that I'm taking is they're like $50 a bottle.
Oh yeah. I actually don't take any right now, but I was taking them.
yeah, I have to keep my stuff affordable, but we're good.
I just figure it's better to take those and have to actually eat the meat, or it's not even meat, eat the organs. But yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
But I would warn people. Gunnar mentioned it, that potassium is not talked about enough, and just as somebody that went through that, I would definitely caution, if you have a heart condition, be mindful of your potassium intake. Make sure that don't get too much, but definitely don't get too little, because it can, in my experience, throw you into a bad heart condition, like throw you into a bad place with your heart. So yeah, just I would say be mindful of that.
Yeah, I don't worry too much about the magnesium and the salt, but the potassium, I did buy an additional potassium supplement. It's just a big bag of potassium salt. But I do watch how much I take. Like I looked at how much it is and I take a very small portion of it and throw it into my keto drink once a day just to get a little extra, because the element packets don't give you enough magnesium and potassium for the entire day, but I'm not getting them from anywhere else, so I'll add a little bit more. And then I need to get some new magnesium pills, but I like to take magnesium before bed to help me sleep. Although lately I haven't been sleeping, so
Yeah.
dag
There is an
nabbit.
energy boost. It's kind of weird. It doesn't hit me every single day, but for the most part, I find myself with a lot more energy, which is awesome.
I find that I'm a night person, and like I'd rather stay up till 4 a.m. and then go to bed, and I sleep like a baby. But I can't do that. I could do that now with the shift change, but now I'm capitalizing on the morning streams on Rumble.
Priorities.
Look, I like having a big stream in the morning.
Yeah,
It
I'll
feels
stay
good
up
when that happens.
Yeah, that must be nice. Yeah, I stay up till like 2 a.m. and then I'll go to bed, and I'll wake up at 7 a.m. and make it to work by 8 a.m.
Today was one of my high energy days. I was up around 8:30, which is probably late. Like that's late for some people, I'm sure, but for me that's late, or that's early for some people. For me that could be whatever. But so I've been up since like 8:30, and I did all these errands. I did my own stream thing, and then I'm doing this, and it's like 10 o'clock at night almost, and I'm like fully energized. It's pretty weird. Like by this time I'd probably start winding down. I'd be falling asleep in the chair. I mean, I don't know. Like the energy levels are definitely different. I said it's not perfect every time, but for the most part, I'd say that energy is just like pretty steady.
Yeah, it's always like
I
it's
also
like a
go to
line.
bed at like 3 a.m. or whatever. So like I don't know.
I just feel healthy. I have to watch it when I drink though. Like if I'm drinking with Llama. Because you get drunk way. Well, it's funny. I have not been getting drunk as easily on Carnivore, which is weird. Because keto, it would hit me.
Yeah, keto hit me harder. I don't know why that it is either.
That's
Maybe
so
it's
weird.
getting sucked up in the meat. I don't know.
It could be the way that your body's burning now, right? Because your body's kind of like you're changing the fuel, so maybe it's just
I
the
know on
engine's
keto
spinning
you'll
a different
switch to the
direction. You know what I mean?
alcohol and it hits you. Maybe on carnivore you just have so many ketones that your body's like just burning the ketones with the alcohol at the same time. Maybe that's it. I feel like we need some serious studies on alcohol consumption and carnivore because I like my wine and I like my liquor. So
and they already say wine has health benefits. So combine that with carnivore, man. You
sure.
could be looking at the fountain. You could be looking at the fountain of youth right now. I might not even know it.
Yeah, you just turn into a vampire. Drinking wine and you just start reverse aging.
Man, a lot of people have reported that the aging has either reversed or slowed down with carnivore, and it's like, yes, please help me.
Yeah.
But at least I feel better, so that's huge.
Well, it's like your skin. Your skin looks a lot better from the diet. You know, you just notice that you're not getting like any blemishes. Your skin starts to look a lot better and smoother and everything. So I think it is that. And the one thing I noticed from the gym, my calics go away really fast.
Like I've heard that for a lot of people. Yeah. I will say the acne thing, I used to have really bad acne and I had like some scarring and I'd always get pimples and zits. It was terrible because girl, we can't do that. And I would invest in some pretty expensive makeup that would actually cover it. And then I went keto and I realized my face cleared up. And I was like, nice. I don't have to I don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't wear makeup anymore either ever since.
Yeah, isn't it great? I've gotten way older and I stopped wearing makeup and I look just fine. But when I do cheat, if I go a little bit too far, I'll find a pimple. So
yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand that their acne is caused by crappy food. You can easily get rid of acne without the weird chemicals by just eating low carb.
Oh yeah.
It's crap. You know, it's like every single thing I've heard, it makes a carnivore sound like a miracle pill. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And like now having done it, I'm kind of like, there is kind of like this miracle pill effect that happens, you know, for different, everybody has their own, seems like everybody has like a laundry list of ailments. And then the moment they do carnivore, it's like most of it or all of it disappears. And a lot of it's that stuff that's supposedly never supposed to go away. You know, nobody would think your diabetes would go away, or so I've heard people have like different types of cancer and like they've gone into remission and, or it's just, you know, whatever, all sorts of stuff. Like it's very weird.
So you said you had CHF. How is your heart?
It's so I haven't had it checked yet, but I have gone down to, I was on like 5 medications, I think, including a blood thinner, and I'm down to 2. One of them I'm probably going to get off of, which is the actual blood pressure one, the tartrate. And then I'm on a flecainide. The flecainide one's the one that I need to talk to the doctor about, or cardiologist about, because that one is supposedly supposed to prevent me from going into AFib. So I don't want to like cold turkey that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've lost at least 3 different medications.
Wow, because usually once you go into CHF, like you're fucked, but you're going off medications.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So, yeah, it's been great. The only thing I'm still dealing with as effect of just my weight and everything is like my apnea. So I still have to deal with more weight loss to get rid of that, I think. But my blood pressure, my energy level, like all that stuff is just a huge change. I mean, my blood pressure used to get up to 180 or something. Like it was like,
oh my gosh,
crazy high numbers. I went to the dentist one time and I don't remember what the number was, but they're like, I think like legally we have to call the hospital or something like that and get an ambulance because you're so high. I'm like, I feel fine. Everybody always asks that. It's like, do you feel all right? How's your chest? Do you have pain? I'm like, no, I feel totally fine. Like, I just had like crazy high blood pressure. But things are normalizing. I'm feeling a lot better. No looking back on it, honestly. I said it's a health protocol for me, you know, and this is just how, like, I don't ever consider changing it because I don't feel like there's a need to change it. Like, why would I want to go back to the things that almost killed me? You know, like it's just.
Yeah, I like I think once a month I'm going to go out to eat and enjoy something because it's just nice
Yeah.
to do that within reason. But and like I said, I've started the cycling, but like I'm happy. I feel so good. Carnivore is here to stay. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I was on that
as long
thing
as they
where
don't make us eat the bugs.
I will fight them. I will fight them so hard. Fuck those guys.
oh, they started making them like barbecue bugs and shit. Like they're like, oh, you'll
You're
love it.
not taking my cows away, man.
Yeah, you want to talk about ingredients you have to watch out for. You know, we're talking about soybean and different nuts or seeds and stuff, and now we have to like watch out for like cricket flour and everything. So, like,
no,
just,
no,
I guess it's better just get your food from Butcher Box. I don't know. You don't have to worry about it.
Do it.
Which as a person with celiac, do you have to consider that, like where the cow or whatever is getting its food from? Because wouldn't that technically does that bleed into their blood and everything?
No, I've never had an issue with any type of meat that I eat. It's
not
broken
at all. Down.
Yeah, I mean it's in the meat. It's like if it's breaded, or some people get an issue where like it can be light breading, it'll cause me issues, but some people can get issues if it's just like hypothetically cooked in the same fryer that something that was breaded was cooked in. I'm not that bad, but I did notice that because I was on carnivore for so long and I'd not had a reaction in a long time, when this reaction hit and it was the smallest amount of breading on there, it hit like 10 times harder. Like it hit
Sounds
me
like an allergy. That's so weird.
It's not. It's actually my body treats as soon as it hits my intestines, my body like kind of attacks it and treats it like a virus.
Interesting.
So that's why the hands and feet go cold, because the blood starts rushing to that area to like fight
you have
off
celiac,
the virus.
Right?
Yeah, celiac disease.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so it treats it as if it's like a virus, and it tries to go and attack it. And if like I still kind of slightly have residual effects, but it's pretty much gone. Like it can last up to a month, but it's usually the first like 5 days I feel horrible. The first day is the worst, then it comes down exponentially after that. So like I still have like random tingling here and there that's not like crazy, but overall it's like almost complete, because this happened like maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Man, you're lucky you found this stuff out at your age. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I was like
a lot longer.
My brain fog, like I could not think clearly for so long. I remember telling my mom, I'm like I just can't think straight anymore. Like I just feel like so cloudy in my head. Like that was like the word I used, was just cloudy, like all the time. And then like it was like a breath of fresh air, like a new lease on. Like I felt so horrible. It was like a new lease on life. So I'm glad I found this diet. Keto fixed a lot of that, but carnivore like cleared everything else up.
Yeah, I think for me, I just needed to go on carnivore, just like I said before, the elimination diet, just to give my body a chance to actually heal. Because on keto, still eating the vegetables, I was not quite getting over the ailments that I had.
Yeah. And you had chronic acid reflux too, right?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even on keto, I was using ACV to help treat it so I could go to bed. And ACV helped, but it didn't actually completely get rid of it. But I had really bad reflux at one point. I didn't want to take acid reducers because I knew that wasn't the issue. So that's probably why the vinegar helped.
Yeah. Did you have to get like endoscopies and stuff to make sure you didn't have Barnes esophagus? I think
I was going to get one and then I chickened out. So I've not been at the doctor in a very long time.
I had it. It was like terrifying waiting for the results, because that can turn into cancer. So I was like horrified, but luckily I didn't have any issues. But like I tried like Prilosec, and that made me sick and dizzy. It was really weird.
The crappy thing about Prilosec is they'll put you on for a month, but you're not supposed to be on it for more than 2 weeks, because it can permanently alter how your stomach processes food, how it creates stomach acid.
Took it 2 days.
Good thing. Yeah. And they don't tell you that. I had a fellow at the University of Michigan get pissed off at me. He got snotty because I was like, I don't make enough stomach acid. I already knew this when I went in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you want to put me on Prilosec? He's like, well, that's just our protocol. We start with that to see how things are going. I'm like, no, I don't make enough stomach acid, bro. So I even had to switch doctors. I go to the VA hospital there, and I switched doctors and got another one who was amazing. She actually just, did the blood test and talked to me a little bit, and she was totally cool with diet. She was amazing. But I haven't been to the doctor since before COVID, and I just don't like where healthcare is going right now. It's too propagandized, and I just no. Nope.
And they want to medicate
I was going to
everybody
ask
so
if
they
you
can
guys
make
have
some
been to a
money.
doctor since you've done all this. Because I think for me, I haven't been to a doctor since I started. And I think for me, I'm kind of waiting until I get to a certain weight point, and then I want to go to the doctor, get my blood test, have everything look excellent. And then I just want to see their face when I tell them what it is that I'm doing,
Yeah.
and hear what it is that comes out of their mouth that they try to tell me how wrong I am or something like that. I'm like looking forward to that. Am I crazy, or is that kind of like a
I
win?
mean,
Because you hear all
a
this
lot
crap
of
about the industry. It's
doctors,
like,
a lot of these doctors who have been changed and become pro keto and pro carnivore, it's because they ended up having a patient who fought them. And then they saw what happened and they were like, okay, wait a minute. This actually works. Wow. You did this with diet by just getting rid of carbs. And then they would start reading the research and go pro keto. And it was funny because, like what Dr. Barry said, he would be one of these doctors who would guilt his patients thinking that they weren't actually following their diets because they couldn't lose weight and nothing was getting better. We've all been on those diets that we were eating the way we were told to eat, and it did nothing for us, and it sometimes made us worse. And when he discovered someone who was getting well off of low carb, that's when he started changing his tune.
that's
so
crazy.
yeah, go prove to them, and they talk at work too. So someone will share your story with another person there.
I really want to do that, because last time I was in the emergency room, like I was getting lectured at, because at that point I was just doing keto, right? And keto I don't think is like anything too crazy, but I was getting lectured at about it. Like they're just so anti anything but sad or dash or whatever. It's very typical.
They want you
stuff.
eating those damn carbs, dude.
Well, the irony of the whole thing is, when I was in the hospital, they have the worst quality food. And I don't mean like it tastes horrible. For snacks, they were giving me these yogurt or these like Jello packs that had all these like crazy chemicals in it. They're giving me sugar and like mac and cheese or something that tasted like it came right out of a Kraft box. It's like the worst food. I'm like, how is this? You're trying to heal me and you're giving me junk food. Like literally, I was hungry one time and I asked for a snack, and they literally grabbed me like a bag of crackers of some sort, like Sun Crisp or something like that, from the vending machine. Like that was
which
their
will
answer
not
to
fill you up. Hungry. It just makes you more hungry. Yeah.
I couldn't believe what they were feeding me. It was crazy.
Yeah,
the other hospital I went to was a lot better about it, but this last hospital was it was insane. I was like, this is not a place of healing. This is a place of squeezing money out of me or whatever.
100%.
It's turning you into a future patient.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's capitalism, baby.
It's terrible.
Got to make that money. But the craziest thing about a diet is that, like, the idea that your body is trying to tell you the wrong thing and that you need to go against your body's intuition and make it starve. Like, that's like the stupidest idea. And then all these people start starving themselves, and then they gain the weight right back. But when you're able to actually satiate yourself and your body's like, all right, we're cool. Like, I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Why wouldn't your body want to optimize itself? Why wouldn't it want to be in the best shape that it could possibly be? Why wouldn't it want to try and strive for longevity? So it's really just all like this toxic food that they make you eat, that make you fat and make you bulk up, and then make you think that you need more food even though you don't. Like, I just think that was like interesting to think about.
Absolutely. I mean, look at when COVID was happening. What were they recommending people to eat? What were they recommending people to do? They weren't recommending people to go get sunlight. They weren't trying to sell a vaccine on the backs of orange juice. They're selling vaccine on the back of McDonald's. Like, they're literally pushing.
Well, and they fought everything that was discovered to fight COVID. They actually fought that stuff and tried to make it so we couldn't buy it. Like, what the hell?
By the way, I swerved that needle.
It opened my eyes to a lot of medical stuff. So I guess that's why I'm at where I'm at right now. With it.
It's crazy.
Like, even going into the hospital last time, I had so much just reservation about being there, and I just took everybody's word with such little trust. Even like the doctors, like all that. Like, I just, it sucks. It sucks to be in that position where you don't know who to trust. especially in a facility that's supposed to be designed for healing, but you can't trust the people that are there to heal you. I'm not saying they're all like that. There's a lot of good people in there, but it's just the system just makes you question everything. It's very unfortunate.
You know what's funny? My parents went and got the freaking COVID shot. Last spring? And they both ended up coming down with COVID last summer. And we went up to the hospital and saw them, and they got out. And my mom was like looking at me like, you need to get the COVID shot. You need to get the COVID shot. I'm like, no, I haven't gotten COVID any of these times. I've been out partying at its alleged peak several times because I'm defiant. Yeah. I didn't do any of the precautionary bullshit that doesn't work, and I'm fine. And most of the people I know who have gotten COVID and had bad cases got the freaking shots.
I had it twice. I never got the shot, and it was like 3 days, and I was fine.
Yeah, so you got over it pretty quickly.
Yeah, the only one thing was my taste was not. And my smell and taste didn't go away. It was altered. I remember the first time I had a shot after COVID of whiskey, it tasted like cough syrup. I'm like, what the fuck? Did COVID ruin my whiskey? But it went away after a week after that.
That's depressing. Speaking of
how's the whiskey now? Is it back to normal?
Oh, it's back to normal. Yeah,
thank
we're fine.
God.
It was like a week. It was like
okay, that's not bad. It's like flu taste. Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst. Getting a cold and losing your sense of taste.
Dude, and I drink whiskey when I get sick because Irish.
Yeah, fair enough. Irish too. Irish and Italian.
I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta have like some Jamesons in coffee or something. Yeah. It's what you do when you have a really bad flu.
Yeah, it's a great way to fight it.
I don't know if there's science behind it. They say no, but we just talked about how you can't trust the medical community.
It gets the white blood cells drunk and they're ready to fight harder.
I would trust centuries of my heritage before I trust the freaking medical community.
I'm a weirdo. I don't take medicine for fucking anything unless I really need it. Like I had one knee surgery and 2 hand surgeries. They gave me like over the course of 3 surgeries, each time they gave me 30 perks, and I only would take like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh my gosh.
They like just try to fucking over medicate you. They like want you to get addicted. I know my personality. I get addicted. So I was like, nope.
Man.
Yeah. That's the one thing that was alarming to me is when I got sick, they just pack pills in your face. Like, when I started taking pills, I was 30, maybe in my late 20s, I think, when they first put me on all these pills. And it's like it started with 1 pill, and then I go to the doctor, and they're like, oh, that's not good enough. Let's increase it. And then I go back for my checkup. Oh, you're still not good. Here, let's go ahead and add this pill on top of it. Before I knew it, by the time I was 30, I was on like 5 pills for my heart and blood pressure and everything. And even then, even amongst all those pills, I would still go to my doctor's appointments or whatever, and my blood pressure would still be off the charts. Like, they just could not get it under control. And their solution was to give me more pills. And then eventually it got to, oh, well, let's put you on this $600, $500 bottle of blood thinner. And it's like, oh, okay, that's great.
Did they ever talk to you about diet?
Yeah, just once or twice, when it came up. And I've gone to the family doctor, and I've talked to like 2 or 3 cardiologists overall, and they all tell me to do the DASH diet. That's all all those people all say.
What exactly is the DASH diet? That sounds like the newest thing.
The DASH diet is basically Atkins. That's like the simplest thing. It's just it's a low carb kind of high. It's like high vegetable, lean meat, no salt. Yeah, it's a very boring diet with a lot of vegetables and little to no red meat. Yeah, it's just.
So it's a bastardized Atkins, because Atkins would have you doing a proper keto.
Yeah,
with
much,
salt.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when you look at them, it's like it kind of reads like Atkins, but there's definitely some like changes. But then, like, even if you look at Atkins today, I mean, they're selling candy bars and stuff now, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I think that's something really important to bring up too. Like, don't buy any processed food at all, chat. Like, we're all eating real food. Like I'm buying my meat from the farmer. I already told the story about how I have to fight to find real heavy cream. I use stevia in my coffee, and I have to buy like a specific brand of stevia because most of the stevia stuff on the market, they've been adding shit to it, like sugar alcohols and all sorts of fun things. Your keto stuff, your processed keto stuff all has like sugar alcohols in it, and sugar alcohols have been found to actually cause or prevent like women from losing weight, which is, you know, if you're going keto, you kind of want to lose the weight. That's the whole point. But yeah, the freaking food industry is figuring out how to capitalize on people who are well-meaning and on the right path, but they just don't want to buy the fresh foods and cook themselves. So learn how to cook.
Yeah, keep buying your keto ice cream
too. Huh?
I said keep buying your keto ice cream. It's really working.
They're really we get all our meat from Butcher Box. So it's all like grass fed, you know, all that stuff. And it's really good meat. But we just got hamburger for the first time in a very long time from the grocery store because we ran out of our Butcher Box hamburger. I'm a little nervous about consuming it because it's grocery store meat. But what I found that's fascinating that you really have to be careful with is like even in the store when they say that it's you know, all like organic or whatever, this particularly happens with like chicken and like ground chicken and ground turkey. But if you look at it, there's actually ingredients in it. It's usually some sort of like sodium broth bath or something.
Ham is really bad. Yeah. Ham, like pork products, they add so much crap to them.
Yeah, it's crazy what they get away with without people realizing it. So much product has extra water and salt and some sort of broth added to it, which who knows what's in the broth, right? But like, I don't know, it's just something I've become a lot more mindful of too, is like basically I'm going from like I'm just used to eating one ingredient, you know, and that's meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, very simple.
Man, you know what's really good though? And I haven't done it in a while because I don't have ground beef right now. I just have steak. Like, oh no, I just have steak. It's terrible.
Oh, horrible.
But like I'll do like a half-pound burger patty and I'll throw like some oh my gosh, I tried the Kerrygold sharp cheddar cheese because it was like the only like aged cheese I could find. That stuff is so freaking good. So I'll melt that on the beef patty and throw a fried egg on top. And it's so good. It's such a great meal. So yeah, it doesn't have to be boring.
I haven't done yet is use an egg.
Yeah, dude, totally use the egg.
What are your guys' favorite recipes? Like, I'm sure all of us have that moment where there's something particular that we want to crave, but it's usually stuff that requires other ingredients that we just don't consume. So like, do you have anything that you use? Like I just found out about potato salad. Mock potato salad, right?
Oh, someone who recommended, I think freaking Purdy of all people. I was telling him about that. I'm like, dude, I love potato salad, but I can't have potatoes. And he's like, well, just do it with the eggs. And I was like, that's a great idea. I've done it twice now. So I throw some celery salt in there and I do the mustard with some stevia and I use the mayo. And yeah, I just dice up like I did a dozen eggs the other day. No, I think I did all 18. I ate egg salad for like days. It was so good. It was really good, dude. So this time of year when you're craving like picnic food because of that sunshine, highly recommend it. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll have to try that. I think it was Melanie Mack. I saw the recipe on. She posts a lot of stuff with Carnivore and she did one recently that was a potato salad. And hers was the hard-boiled eggs, sour cream, and I think just cheddar cheese. It was pretty straightforward, but yeah, I was like, it seemed interesting. I was like, a potato salad is an interesting thing to try to mimic, but I guess it works.
I didn't miss the potatoes. I'm gonna be real. Like,
yeah, no,
it was the flavor, like all the seasoning that I put in, which wasn't that much, and I have mustard. I use mustard. I mean, there's nothing in mustard.
It's mustard seeds. Get rid of it. No.
But I've been doing Johnsonville brat. Oh, that's what I did, dude. I bought a bunch of brats, and so I made the egg salad with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try it. We're gonna do bacon though, but
I need to fry up my bacon tomorrow. A big pack. Yeah, I love bacon.
So do you like do all your stuff ahead of time? Is that how you do it? Like you prep for the week or something, or?
I mean, I'm one person, so like when it comes to something like bacon, because it's a pain in the ass to make, I'll just do the whole pack, yeah. And then I'll just, heat it up when I'm frying my eggs. I'll just throw it back in there and let it get a little warm because I don't need the bacon to be like super freaking hot.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible how much bacon I go through. like
you're allowed to have
if any
it. If
doctor saw how I ate, they'd freak out.
And what I really love about the bacon though is like cooking it all at once. Then I'll put I have all glass containers. I like got rid of all my plastic. So then I'll pour the bacon grease into there after it cools off a little bit. And then I'll just use that for cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then the butter is spared for a little while. Unless
I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't had bacon in a while. What the fuck? I need
Yeah, you're broken. That's wrong.
Cardinal sin, man.
Bacon so much.
Stuff.
I've just been eating steaks every day.
You can't trust someone who doesn't eat bacon.
Yeah.
I was eating it a lot. I would make like huge. I would just make a bunch of bacon like every Sunday, and literally just a bunch of eggs like in the same pan because it's fucking amazing. And
you have to fry your eggs in bacon grease when you cook it. Yeah, you have to. It's required.
Everything, like the whole entire pack. Like it was really bad. I'm a big boy, so I would eat the entire fucking thing. And I'd be like, I'm good for the day.
You can always do steak and bacon. That's what I do. I eat a lot of steak.
I have done that.
Have bacon. Yeah. I mostly have bacon with it most of the time. So
I've had steak and eggs. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, carnivore crisps. I just ordered a bunch more of those. I think I get them on Tuesday. It'll be pretty good timing because I'm going to be going back into the keto phase soon, but I'm going to get some sour cream and I like the Campari tomatoes because they're bigger than cherry tomatoes, but they're more flavorful. They're so good.
Yeah.
So I'll do the tomatoes and I'll do some diced avocado, not a ton, just enough. And the sour cream with maybe I'll get some chorizo. That stuff is so good. And then I'll use that because the carnivore crisps, I use those instead of chips. So
are those pretty good?
I like them.
Hearing about them, I look at them, but I'm like, God, they're so expensive.
They are very expensive, but if you're like me and you like freaking Mexican food, yeah. So I just bought 3 bags. It's like $100. Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Oh my god, for like
they're expensive. Wait, is it 3 or 5? I don't know.
It better be 5 at least.
And then I got like $8 off because like Dr. Berry had a promo code.
Have you all noticed any differences in your taste buds?
Oh yeah.
Like I one thing I remember in particular is it was probably a couple months into it or something, and there's this type of salsa that I really liked, and I had it for the first time, and it was the flavor profile like completely changed. It almost tasted like spoiled, almost like it's really gross. Like I haven't been able to eat it. What tasted
spoiled?
The salsa. Like there's a salsa I used to get that was really good.
Maybe it's just shitty salsa and you didn't know it.
Well, I hadn't been eating any kind of vegetables for a couple months straight. At that point, I wasn't adding anything into it. So when I had it, that was kind of like my first introduction back into like tomatoes or something. And it was like the most disgusting thing I had in like the longest time. You guys, maybe it's a super taster thing. I don't know. But
I just noticed
it really stuck out to me, like how much some food profiles changed.
I got 5 bags for $100.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be eating a lot of carnivore crisps.
Wow. Yeah. The only thing that I noticed with my taste buds is that like the meat, like you can taste it so much more, and like the salt, like you really can like taste the salt a lot better.
I love
I think
salt.
It's just my body just craving it more, that I can like taste the juiciness so much better. Like I don't know what it was, if the other food was numbing my palate or what, but like just having strictly this, and like the fact that I don't get tired of the same thing almost every day, like I don't mix it up like you guys as much. I pretty much just can eat steak like 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row, and be perfectly fine. Like it's just crazy. I need to try some of those recipes that you guys are talking about though. Maybe I'll spend $100 on some carnivore crisps.
I'll have to take pictures and put it in the Discord. But yeah. I went out to Red Robin with my brother a couple weeks ago, and it was divine. I mean, come on, potatoes, the freaking French fries were amazing. The burger was amazing. Like everything is so much better tasting when you have it because you're not used to eating sugar. And I would find myself becoming bored with a lot of foods when I was eating like the normal American diet because I had it all the time. But I just feel like flavor is amplified when you go keto, like keto,
Yeah,
not just
Very
carnivore.
much.
Ice cream, cake, like I don't really like the super sweet stuff. It's a little too much for me. Like I don't like milk chocolate, but if I go out and I get like this gooey, like super dark chocolate fudgy cake, like that's going to be good. But then after I eat it, I'll have had enough because it's like, okay, I don't feel good. I'm going to go back on carnivore. And it's like the whole time I've been on keto, it's been so easy for me to go right back to it because of how food makes me feel. But yeah. So I try to keep the cheating down to once a month now that I'm off of the trial period.
I will say from a diet perspective, I haven't looked into it too much because I used to be very heavy, like not exactly bodybuilding, but like I would do like the big bulks and the big cuts. The one thing I would notice if you stuck to a diet for a while and like maybe like a month or two, and then you threw in a big cheat meal, it kind of threw your body into overdrive. Now it's burning at that rate, and then it starts losing more weight. Like once you hit a hump and you do that, it kind of helps you lose weight. It's like the same thing with like UFC fighters when they're cutting weight, they'll start drinking a gallon of water. Then they'll work up to a gallon and a half, then 2 gallons, then they'll drop to a gallon and they start losing all the water weight. I think it's like it's kind of good occasionally to have a cheat meal. I haven't done it just because I don't want to feel sick again. But throwing like a little bit of a shock into your body puts it kind of into overdrive and helps you lose weight a decent.
That's why I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to like throw your body a little bit
that.
into a twist.
Yeah, I found plateauing happens a lot. I don't know if it's plateauing, but it's definitely a stall happens a lot. Yeah. Once the body gets comfortable with how it's burning everything, and
my body likes where it's at, unfortunately, but I'm still too heavy.
I don't like where my body's at, so
exactly, really I need to get rid of. There's like a few things I want to get rid of. I don't need to be super skinny, then I'll start looking old. But like, I want to. Yeah, I just want to be thinner in some areas.
Well, the best thing about this diet is it's not a crash diet. A lot of these people lose all this weight just to gain it right back because they were doing a diet that they were starving and hating.
Yup.
They gain the weight right back. Maybe they lose, like I've lost 60 pounds in 3 months before, or like doing like pretty much a crash diet. But you gain the weight back because
you never go back to the diet. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you're like, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I gained 5 pounds, not that bad. All right, well, 5 pounds since the last 5 pounds, that's not too. Then you just keep gaining the weight back. It's really hard to hop back on the diet. So
that's a vicious cycle I've been through a million times. Yeah,
you just got to find something that you can stick to. This was definitely something I could stick to. At least sticking to it since June of last year, it proves that I can stick to this diet as long as I want. So that's what I love about it.
I am thinking about starting to weigh myself again though, because like I said, I noticed like my pants stopped getting bigger. Like I stopped changing sizes down there, but like all of a sudden I realized up here I started like getting smaller, and it's like, okay, it's really hard to tell if I'm losing weight now because I'm staying in proportion rather than evolving the way I want to. And it's frustrating. Yeah, because I can look in the mirror and it's like, oh, I look terrible. But if you compared me with me 6 months ago, you'd be like, holy shit. Although I will admit, I'll throw on a dress and look in the mirror and be like, damn, okay, this is working.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. I have more flattering angles these days, but it's definitely, I have noticed that it's definitely a proportional kind of shrinkage. Like it's not one thing over the other. It's just kind of this very slow, almost like type of thing, but it's just enough to notice it's a little different, right?
Just the freaking belly fat is the worst. Like, please go away. Like if that would go away, everything else would be fine.
The fun thing about looking at old pictures is pictures of your face when you notice that your face lost weight.
My old streaming videos, oh my gosh, dude. Wow. Holy crap, I was poofy. Yeah.
I was a beefy boy.
It sucked. That's the interesting thing about being on camera every day.
Oh yeah. You get back to an old clip and like, what the fuck?
It's like, do I really want to share that? But it's so funny. But I was so fat.
Here you go. Here's a beautiful picture. Because I said this to my mom a little bit ago. Here's a beautiful picture of my face, how fat it was. It was really thick.
You're like, now look at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little bit of jaw back. I still got some more to go. I need to get back down to 220, but yeah.
220. That's my goal weight.
Yeah, that's my
How tall
goal.
are you?
That's my first goal.
I'm 6
Huh?
foot.
You're 6.
Yeah.
Are you too, Ryan, or
6'1".
you're 6'1"? Okay, all right.
Yeah, no. It was funny because I always had to gain and lose so much weight. I was a defensive lineman, so like, and then in high school I was an offensive lineman. So like I was since my freshman year of since eighth grade year I was 220 pounds. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I mean, and then I would go up to like 275, and then I hit my peak after my spine injury to 285. But yeah, so now I'm just trying to get back in the shape, back down to 220.
Same. And I actually like working out now. Like I just use hand weights. I just want to have like just good upper body strength just for functionality. And then I'll walk 20 minutes just to get some sunlight. And but I'm done. I'm done with the extreme stuff. Like I've done 2 marathons. I used to race mountain bikes. I don't want to do that to my body anymore. It's hard. I just want to be healthy at this point in my life.
I just bought a weight set. It's over there. I'm going to be doing lifting streams and stuff. So I'm going to get back into lifting. It's going to be fun.
That should be funny.
Yeah, I got it's like a bench squat rack.
Teach these Rumble gamers how to do it.
Oh yeah, I haven't lifted in like 3 months, but I'm gonna get back to benching 450, guys. I swear.
Oh my gosh.
Rumble gamer gains, right?
Yeah, 30 minutes before stream, we'll have a pre-show where I'm just lifting real quick. All I do in the gym, people think I'm crazy, is just bench, squat, deadlift. I'll do alterations of each, and pull-ups and chin-ups or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's all I'll do, and I'll gain my strength back like that. It's like
working out is the worst thing for me. Like out of everything that I've struggled with my weight and health, working out is like the one thing that I have yet to conquer. My wife actually bought me a weight set, and I have yet to touch it, and I feel bad about it. But it's like I'm in this weird spot where I don't even like know where to start, you know. And I feel like the weight, like the diet's under control. The diet works amazing, but because I've kind of plateaued on the law, like I don't gain anything anymore, but I'm not really quite losing anymore. And I feel like I'm at that spot where the weight, the next key to my health is like the exercise. But dude, I can't get my mind. And
you don't have to go that hard though. Just get a little bit of movement just for some muscle tone. And the funny thing is on Carnivore, I guess it's been reported that people actually gain muscle tone simply by being on Carnivore because your body starts rebuilding the muscle. So, and I've noticed actually,
your recovery's quicker too.
I haven't been working out that much, but my biceps actually look really freaking good now. And it's like it looks like I've been working out a lot, and it hasn't. Now I just need to work on this part here. But the other day I was just flexing just to mess around, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I will say if you want to choose between doing cardio or lifting, I honestly recommend lifting first because the more muscle that you have on your body, the more you're resting, like basically how much calories you lose in the day is because your body needs to burn more calories to support that muscle. So if you continue to eat the same amount of food and have more muscle on your body, you're going to lose more fat.
Also, the older you get, the more important the muscle mass is. And the cardio, like I said, for me, the only reason I get cardio is just to go get some sunlight.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely shifted from cardio into weight training, the weight training all the way. And it doesn't have to be like crazy weight training. Just move. And the cool thing about being in keto is that the weight training gains are crazy. Like last year when I was working out regularly, it was amazing like how much I was upping my weight each week because I was just making so many gains. So now I'm just trying to get back into doing it regularly again. But you'll build muscle like crazy on this diet. So carbs are bad, Chad, if you want to build muscle. Like just stop that crap.
Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm not a good example. Don't drink beer.
It's your cheat day.
I'm being a hypocrite right now, damn it. I thought
it's a good recovery drink after a workout.
Couple weeks after a workout. All right, guys. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
Not that I can think of now.
No, just highly suggest it. I convinced my wife into joining me on the carnivore journey. And it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with that. So
That'd be awesome.
If
Be
she's
careful, dude. Do
successful,
you guys
which
have kids?
there's been changes. There's been changes so far that we're starting to see, some small improvements. So,
So
it'd
I've
be nice
in women, so definitely with me being older, I've been paying attention to some of the things with women going on carnivore, and I'm not in my 50s, okay, but Dr. Berry is not the only doctor who has reported that his 50-something-year-old women who have gone on the carnivore diet to treat things like diabetes ended up getting knocked up because apparently it increases fertility in women and it pushes menopause out by years. So
it's crazy.
So if I end up getting married, I'm gonna have to really think about things because apparently I got some time. So be careful with your wife, dude.
Noted. Actually, is there anything that you could share as a woman that she should be mindful of being on carnivore? Because you mentioned earlier that it was slightly different for women.
Yeah, when she starts losing her appetite, I think she needs to assess how many calories she's getting because women tend to, I guess it's common for women to experience what I did, which is where I was only eating 600 or 700 calories a day, which is bad. We need calories, otherwise like her cycle could stop. And I noticed mine was being kind of funky right away, so I was like, okay, no, we need to make sure this is normal. So now I will eat smaller meals within I generally when I'm on track, I'll do 8 on, 16 off for intermittent fasting. And I find that's great for weight loss, but I need to make sure I'm eating at the beginning and the end of the 8-hour window. So I'll try to get a couple of meals in throughout the day. For appetite control, salt. Like the element packets are great. I think they're completely worth it. And do 2 to 3 element packets a day. Add salt to one of them. Like look up Dr. Berry's Keto, and that's why I started adding a little bit of potassium and salt to the Keto. I'll do one like that. The rest of them, it's just element packets. But I have a bunch of these from buying milk or heavy cream in glass bottles, and I saved these, and I distill my own water because I like distilled water, but you can't let it sit in plastic jugs for long. So I stopped buying it and just I got like $100 distiller from Amazon. That's freaking amazing. So I'll stockpile these in the fridge each week, and then I just throw an element packet in it and stir it up, and it's good to go. And now I'm, like I said, towards the end, like when it's like PMS time and time for her period to start, like I'm starting to go back into keto for those weeks for 2 reasons. So I eat more. I have noticed I'm hungrier too. Like I normally can eat like in the morning and go an entire day without eating. I just went 3 days without eating. But like at that time of the month, just before my period starts, I'll eat at like 8 a.m. and then I need to eat at 8 p.m. and I might eat again at midnight. So she just needs to eat. Like just freaking eat when you're hungry. Don't even try to fast or time your meals at that time of the month. Eat because your body wants the calories. Your body needs the energy so it can do what it's supposed to do. And that's the advice that women don't normally get because again, most of the stuff is written for men who just work the same. It just works. Right. We're all over the place.
We're the apple of the human world.
I always see, I don't know why trannies want to be women. Like I just don't get it. They don't have to put up with this shit.
They get the best of both worlds, huh?
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. This was a fun podcast. And
yeah, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
I'll chat with you later. You guys have a great night.
All right. Have a good night. See you, everybody.
Right. Bye.
Bye.